does the nanny do?
I'll never be able to tell you what the nanny did, but I can tell you a lot of other stuff. Tithing to TLC Part 3. Last I left you, we were talking about season 6 when Truly became very, very ill in Cody's care. Now, the wives, I had told you, they went to Seattle so Robin could try on dresses to get ideas for everyone. And during that time, Truly started seeming really under the weather. But instead of Cody taking care of his daughter or even just staying the night where she was, he gave her to his oldest daughters and went to hang out at Robin's house. Those episodes are season 6, episodes 16 and 17 if you would like to watch those. And Christine actually goes into it a lot further in her book, and it was even worse than we saw on the show, and it was pretty bad on the show. This is also the season of Look Down the Lens!
Look at the camera! I'm just trying to hold it together. Look down the lens!
Doing a great job.
You look at him!
That takes us to season 7, which was a relatively short season, but did bring us mouth hormones. What are mouth hormones? Oh my God, are you even are you a doctor? I'm not a scientist, but are you a doctor?
When you kiss, the person that you kiss, their hormones go into your mouth, and it registers certain things.
This brings us to season 8, when a couple anthropologists visit the sister wives, and this is one of the first time the favoritism is like really called out by an outside party. Anthropologists pointed out that Cody spent most of his time at Robin's house, and Christine's book recently has really confirmed that he was there most of the time. Then at the end of this season, after a lot of not subtle coercion by Robin, like, oh, they could take the kids if we don't adopt them, and they could do this and all that, Mary offers to divorce Cody so that Robin can marry him legally so he can adopt the kids.
Oh my God, it's way later, but I almost forgot to include the adoption brought us this monstrosity. Robin wanted to create a moment out of Christine's moment. This was Christine's family portrait. Oh my God.
Season 9 is a rough season for Christine and Cody, which I think almost all the seasons were rough for Christine and Cody because he just really didn't validate her in any way. They even take their therapist, Nancy, like the worst therapist in the world, on their vacation. And Cody tells Christine straight up, we're gonna do things my way, and I will love you if. Very conditional. Robin announces that she's pregnant again with a little girl this time, and that birth is a whole lot of mess, but that happens in the next season. Then the big bombshell that ends up being Mary's storyline for several years, the catfish. Mary was catfished by a woman named Jackie Overton, who was pretending to be a dude named Sam. Jackie also wrote a book called Almost Married. It's terrible. Don't even bother with it, but I do think it is still up on Amazon. There is some question from the fandom whether Robin was involved with this catfishing, but I've never seen enough evidence one way or the other to tell you yes or no, so that's going to be your decision. Now, the next couple seasons, there's a few things that happen. A couple of the kids get married. There's some fights about who should get married before who, but it was really lackluster, which led to Sister Wives almost being canceled in season 12. However, they took a pay cut and the show was able to stay on the air. During season 10, you see moments like Cody yelling at the family because he's upset on a Hawaiian vacation, the huge. Season 11, Janelle and Cody's daughter Maddie is the first to get married. Season 12, Christine and Cody's daughter McKelty gets married. And in season 13, Christine and Cody's daughter Aspen gets married. At Aspen's wedding, Cody makes a disgusting comment about that being the sacred bed and he may not want to set things on it, and Aspen's fiance is really grossed out to say the least. Season 12 also sees Mary wanting to purchase a B&B that was in her family for a very long time, and at first the family promises her the money and then tells her that it's no dice, so she has to work a lot to get this money together, but they're all complaining that they think she's trying to leave. However, every time since then she tries to be involved in the family, they create some sort of issue with it. Then we jump to season 13, and I guess you could call this the beginning of the end, but realistically I think the beginning was the beginning of the end. I don't know. But Cody starts dropping little hints about moving away from Las Vegas, even though a few of their kids have actually relocated to be closer to them, all this stuff, but he's ready to leave, and he says it's because Las Vegas is dangerous and has nothing to do with the fact that Robin's oldest child, Dayton, has just gotten accepted to a college in Flagstaff. Season 14 finds the family actually living in Flagstaff. The first episode, Mary's neighbors don't want her living there because they know about them and don't want them there, so she goes back to Vegas for a bit and then comes back. During this season, Robin is in a rental, but the rental is getting sold, so now she's just got to find something else, and this is where they end up with the McMansion. The looking for the houses is very awkward, very uncomfortable. It's a whole thing. This is the year Cody pitches the one house idea, even though several of the wives had said, I'm just never going to be open to that. Not to mention the majority of the house that he pitches is his. This is also the season that Cody has someone recently convicted of IPV. Cody was supposed to be an expert witness on the show talking about polygamy. Kyle Henderson.
It's for sale. Wow. Kyle was a polygamist. Kyle had 2 wives.
wives and his first wife left.
How do you feel about polygamy?
How do I feel about polygamy? Is there any other type of marriage?
Kyle's wife did not just leave. She was forced out after her voice box was broken and she was dumped in the middle of nowhere because she refused to do the marriage shuffle like Cody and Robin did. Let's keep that real clear right there. And Cody knew about all of that because as an expert witness, he would have been given a ton of documents to review before the trial. Now, by season 15, things are really messed up. Polygamy has officially been decriminalized in Utah. However, Cody tells Christine he was lying to her this whole time. They're never moving back. The hills don't sing when she looks at them anymore, and basically writing's on the wall, this is going to be over pretty soon. Seasons 15 and 16 are when you really see this start to fall apart. You've got a lot of stuff going on, especially COVID-19 starts. And Cody's not seeing any of his family. However, him and Robin are up in the McMansion. They've got a nanny coming in and out every day. And that first clip, what does the nanny do? Well, she gives everyone COVID. By season 16, Cody is fully on the attack, not just against his wives, but against his children also. And I've actually never played this clip, but I think it's important.
Garrison calls me up with his narcissistic attitude and goes, "This is your fault and I'm never going to be around you again."
During that time, his sons were literally just begging him to spend time with them, and he refused. But he wanted to call their mother names. Well, you can tell that the boys were on the edge of tears. Not to mention the boy that he's talking about, Garrison, passed away in 2024.
It's your mother made choices and Christine made choices. And that caused the families to be separated.
Basically, it's a blame game.
Yes, and your mother is the Teflon queen.
During this time, Cody had abandoned all of the kids that were not Robin's, including Isabel, who had a long battle with scoliosis that he was consistently against. Even if he went to the appointments, he did not want her going to those appointments, even to the point that when it had to be done, we gotta go, it's a necessary, required surgery, he suggested sending Isabel by herself. He also later tries to guilt trip her into being okay with him not showing up, which she was certainly not okay with, by saying, "You're not gonna turn into some old bitter housewife because your dad wasn't there, are ya?"
I almost forgot another one. So he can't be there for his kid when they're having literal surgery, but he can travel halfway across the country for his friend to be in his wedding, where he dances in a way that scarred for life.
This deeply affects all of his relationships, and within about a year, everyone has left. He's wanting Mary to stay. He's going to put her in a garage above his car. Janelle, he wants her to kick out her kids and not let the dog sleep in her bed. She even moves into an RV on Coyote Pass, the property that they bought that they never developed and ended up getting sold, so that they could move it along further, and he just decided he was never going to come over. By season 17, we get to the point that Christine is done. She is out, and kidney issues.
The knife in the kidneys over all these years. And the sacrifices that I made to love you. Wasted.
On top of Robin doing the usual, season 18 also brings us Janelle standing up for herself in a way that I think everybody kind of wanted to see, and telling Cody where he can go and how he can get there, which people really appreciated because at that point he just didn't have a relationship with her kids, and Janelle's not that kind of gal. She loves her kids. They're her whole world. We see Christine moving on with her life, including dating, and this is a season where she meets David. Even though he's not really in this season, at the end of the season you get the wedding episodes, which were absolutely lovely, and it was nice to see the wives being able to move on. Now that's pretty much the gist. Season 19 is going to get a little last season on Sister Wives when we start our recaps. I hope you guys have a good day, and whew, this was a lot of videos. Oh my god, I'll see you soon.